So was he inside of heaven before he made it, or was he outside of heaven before he created it? Which one? Think. If he created heaven, that means he was outside of heaven. That means he was somewhere in space doing nothing forever, thinking about creating a new creature that he would have to burn up because they would indulge in evil that he creates, right? Because now the new thing amongst the religious world is that Allah or God made evil and good, because they can't justify how did evil come on the planet. So they say he made both. Okay, fine. If he made both, why are you hurting your creation for something you created? And you knew, if you're all-knowing, you knew that they were going to partake of the fruit. You knew they were going to partake of the evil. You knew they were going to be tricked or deceived. You allowed it to happen just so you can curse them and even repent for doing it. It doesn't make sense. Y'all have to give that stuff back, okay? Stop indulging listening to these people with these lies and thinking this Allah, this invisible being. It's all lies. This was a group of beings who had a genetic experiment that they were doing, and they needed to come to the planet, right? They're not draconians. They were involved with draconians. That's someone's asking a question about these Anunnaki. Let's shift back to who they are so we can be clear on who they are. They were shapeshifters. They could shapeshift. They can appear any form or fashion. That's something you will maybe learn to do if you elevate yourself enough, and if you're blessed to shapeshift. All it is the ability to dematerialize and shape, have conscious control of your genes, restructure your genetics and your cells, and form a particular form that you choose. These beings do that in order to sometimes habitat other planets. They may go to a planet and it's a specific species that they need to speak to or need to communicate with. So instead of coming in their form, they will change form and come as a man, as it says Gabriel did in the book of Daniel. He came as a man. So sometimes they will come as men. That's why it says that you should be mindful of who you entertain, because you may meet one of these beings. But that's just one species. We're only talking about one species right now because it can be so vast in the conversation. I want to do lecture by lecture so we can walk this down the way the Father did it. So when you deal with these Anunnaki, Anu is the highest of all. He's El Elyon. He's the highest of these beings. Enki and Enlil, one is El Enlil, one was Yahweh. They were jealous of each other. Why? Because they began to fight over this new creation. How do you know it? Well, when you look at the book of Genesis, you'll see that Enlil, the Lord that was in the garden, right, who told them, don't touch of that tree of knowledge of good and evil in Genesis 2:17, because in the day ye eat thereof, you shall surely die. Okay. The Hebrew word there is yom, right? It literally means day, like the morning to evening. It has a specific Hebrew context. It's not like some symbolic or allegory where the Hebrew Israelites try to say, oh, it means 1,000 years because a day unto the Lord is like 1,000 years and 1,000 years is like a day. So they try to say, well, Adam did die that day. That's not what it says there. That's just a way they wiggle out of it to try to create a reason or excuse because they can't explain it, because they don't want to accept that this being, this Enlil, lied to this new creation because he didn't want them to be as gods. He didn't want these beings, this new created servant or slave, which was supposed to be just obedient, this is not your creation. Again, Black, African, Nagaru, our people that is listening, this is not your creation. Just step back for a second. Don't get caught up in this biblical, yes, you're not Adam, unless you're saying you were wicked and you were evil continuously. You're not that being, okay? This is the Adamites, this is the Caucasoid race that was there. They were wicked. They were bred for this purpose. These Anunnaki bred them to be workers. And this Enlil did not want them to be have the ability to be as they were, to be able to reproduce on their own, right? To be able to say no, to be able to be disobedient. Nin-Gesida, or the serpent, who was in the garden as well, mind you. So he was not an enemy of this Lord. He couldn't have been. How was he an enemy when he's in the garden and this Lord or Enlil didn't know this being is there? That means that Lord is limited. You can't say this is an all-knowing God when he doesn't know his enemy is in the garden in his own house. You have alarm systems that can detect when a stranger is coming in your house. You have a guard dog that can detect whether a stranger is coming into your house. Right? So you telling me that an all-knowing being, the creator of the universe, that knows the depths of the seas and the farthest star, doesn't know a serpent, his enemy, is going to be the downfall of man, and he's in his own house? It doesn't make sense. It's because these beings were all a part of this group. And this serpent, or this, right, this name is Nin-Gishzida, who was of the Anunnaki, he was the son of Enki, told these beings, this new creation, that Lord Enlil, because they were in conflict, doesn't want you to know that you can be gods, or you will be as us.